Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams. Happy Hump Day, happy Wednesday. We're back to our movies that star musicians, and today's film is 9 to 5, starring Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, Dolly Parton, Dabney Coleman, Elizabeth Wilson, and Sterling Hayden. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, we're back here today with another film led by a musician. Dolly Parton stars alongside Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin in 9 to 5. And as our movie opens, reserved housewife Judy Burnley is forced to enter the workplace after her husband separates from her. Judy ends up with a job as a secretary at Consolidated Companies, where she is placed under the supervision of the experienced and sharp-tongued widow, Violet Newstead. Both women work under the egotistical, sexist Vice President Franklin Hart, whom Violet once trained and who spreads the false rumor that he and his attractive secretary, Doralee Rhodes, who is happily married, are having an affair. When Hart turns down Violet for a promotion in favor of a man who is beneath her, Violet reveals to Doralee the rumor about the affair, leading both women to take the afternoon off drinking at a local bar. Judy then joins them after learning about the dismissal of a very friendly coworker. Unable to think of a way to improve their situation, the women spend the evening smoking marijuana at Doralee's home, fantasizing on how they would get revenge on Hart. Now, Judy claims that she would shoot him like a hunter does a deer. Doralee states that she would hogtie him and roast him over a slow fire, while Violet states that she would just simply poison his coffee. The next day, a frustrated Violet accidentally puts rat poison into Hart's coffee, but before he can drink it, his chair malfunctions and he blacks out after hitting his head on a credenza. Violet realizes her mistake and thinks that the poisoned coffee caused Hart to black out. She and Judy then meet Doralee at the hospital just in time to overhear a doctor pronounce a man dead from poisoning. Thinking that the dead man is Hart, Violet steals the body in order to prevent the performing of an autopsy. But while arguing with Judy and Doralee, she crashes her car, damaging a fender. When Doralee retrieves a tire iron from the trunk to fix the fender, she discovers that the body is not Hart's, and they return it to the hospital. The next morning, Hart shocks the women when he arrives for work as usual. In the ladies' room, Doralee explains that Hart hit his head, but he did not drink the coffee. Relieved that nothing will come out of the night's events, the ladies agree to meet for happy hour at the end of the day. However, Hart's loyal administrative assistant, Roz, overhears the conversation and reports everything back to him. Hart then summons Doralee to his office and offers her a choice: spend the night with him or get reported along with Judy and Violet for attempted murder. Doralee refuses, and when Hart refuses to hear her out, she hogties him and stuffs a scarf that he had given her as a gift into his mouth to keep him quiet. Hart eventually gets loose, which leads to Judy shooting at him with Doralee's handgun. The women discover that Hart has been selling consolidated inventory and pocketing the profits, So they decide to blackmail him into keeping quiet. When they are told that invoices that Violet ordered that would prove Hart's crimes will not arrive for 4 to 6 weeks, they decide to confine Hart to his bedroom wearing a hang gliding suit that is tied to a remote control garage door opener. Now, while Hart is out of the office, the ladies implement several programs that are popular with the workers, including an in office daycare, equal pay for men and women, flexible hours, and a job sharing program where employees can work part time. Days before the invoices arrive, Hart's adoring wife returns from a cruise and frees him, giving him the time to buy back the inventory that he sold. Before Hart can report Judy, Violet, and Dora Lee to the police, the chairman of the board, Russell Tinsworthy, arrives to meet with Hart. He proceeds to congratulate Hart on his improvements to the office, which have resulted in a 20% increase in productivity. As a result, he invites Hart to join him on a multi year project in Brazil, and Hart is reluctantly forced to accept. Violet, Judy, and Dora Lee all celebrate their success. Violet is eventually promoted to vice president. Judy leaves Consolidated to marry the Xerox representative, and Dora Lee leaves to become a country western singer. Hart ends up being kidnapped by a tribe of Amazons and is never heard from again as our movie comes to its end. This movie was a lot more entertaining than I gave it credit for at the outset. Never been a huge fan of Jane Fonda. Lily Tomlin I find funny, but only in certain things. And Dolly is Dolly. Dabney Coleman was a huge face in my childhood growing up. I think about movies like Cloak and Dagger, which I reviewed in my first year doing Renegades Reviews during August for my birth month. If you missed that review, I'll link it up here. Dabney Coleman also popped up that same year movie reviews in The Muppets Take Manhattan as a con man. Very brief cameo role for Dabney. The same movie where the Muppets go to Broadway, and they try to put on a play, and Kermit gets amnesia and everything. Dabney's in the very beginning as a prospective buyer of the Muppets play, but like I said, he's a con man. If you missed that review, I'll link it up here as well. So Dabney Coleman very much factors into my childhood years. And then another one, Tom Hanks. Go back to the very first month I did of Tom Hanks month. And he was in the film Dragnet, playing a Hugh Hefner-esque type of character. I believe the fictional magazine in the movie was called Bait. And he played the owner, president, operator of Bait magazine. If you missed that review, we'll link it up here as well. But so much Dabney Coleman in my life. And then, of course, Dolly Parton, Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, we did earlier this year on Musicals Month. Gotta show some love to Dolly. I mentioned it on the War Zone about a week ago when I talked about having found and picked up Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. My brother, Stat Boy Mike, works at Dollywood throughout the year. So Dolly Parton is legitimately his boss. If you missed my review of Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, we'll link that one up here as well. But now that we've got those recap shills out of the way, on a whole, I didn't expect this movie to be that great because I'm only really a fan of one of the four lead actors, Dabney Coleman. Dolly, I like her music, but I had never seen that many of her movies. This is only the second movie of hers I can think of that I have sat down and watched from start to finish. And it's the first time I've seen it. Again, Jane Fonda, not a huge fan of. Lily Tomlin, depends on the role. But this movie was so much more entertaining, so much more fun than I thought it would be. It was a nice little romp. The dream sequences where they talk about how they would get revenge on Franklin Hart, I thought were very well done, especially the one for Lily Tomlin's character, Violet. She had this whole Disney type of routine for her. They had her dressed up basically as Snow White, animated animals in the thing. You know, she's doing the ha 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 singing type of shtick. It was so funny for a guy like me that grew up watching Disney movies, and Disney has been so embedded in my blood. To see her doing that, I just thought was so hilarious. And she pulled it off so beautifully. I swear to God, if they had done a live action Snow White back then, she very easily could have been the role. Although she probably would have been better suited as the Wicked Queen, but I digress. The songs, awesome. Obviously, the iconic Dolly Parton track 9 to 5 from this movie, the title track. I regret having not seen it for this long. You figure I'm 46 years old and this is the first time I've seen it. I turn 47 later this year. This is the first time I've watched it, and I kick myself for that now because this was so much fun. I'm definitely going to have to be on the hunt, seeing if I can find this on DVD, Blu-ray, something to add to my physical media collection because we all know what a proprietor I am of physical media. I show you guys every week when I do the War Zone. I believe in physical media because I don't believe digital is going to be here forever. You know, people claim that that's the new trend, but I've gone to Netflix, I've gone to Hulu, I've gone to Amazon Prime, I've gone to Peacock and HBO Max and Paramount Plus, and there's still movies on there that I want to see that aren't there. Or things will happen like my daughter. The Sandlot series, all three movies, got put onto Disney Plus because of the Fox Disney acquisition. And she would watch Sandlot on there. And then one day she went to go watch Sandlot and it wasn't there anymore. The sequels were, but the original wasn't. I own it. I never have to worry about that problem. So that's part of why I'm such a huge proprietor and proponent of physical media, because there are times when you want to watch something and you go to the search menu and it's not on a streaming site. And then what do you do? Because there's no video stores anymore for you to go to and rent at. You got to own these movies. So definitely going to keep my eyes peeled for 9 to 5, especially when I go to pawn shops, yard sales, thrift stores, etc. See if I can find me a copy to add to my hard collection. When it comes to my rating for 9 to 5, I'm only going to put it here because it was the first time seeing it. But if I had seen this movie enough times in my lifetime, it would definitely be rated higher. But I'm going to start with putting it at a 3.5 out of 5-star rating. Despite how much I enjoyed it, the reason I'm putting there is because it's taken so long for me to see it the first time. But I definitely have a feeling that with repeat viewings, if I add it to my collection, if I see it more regularly, it's definitely going to go up on my ranking scale. But what do you guys think of 9 to 5? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. And let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel, as it'll be time once again for a new installment of Throwback Thursday. That's right, another week of episodes from Talk Wrestling, No DQ and AV, A Hearty Conversation, Renegade of Wrestling, Dads on Wrestling, Stat Boy Rants, the Indie Force Podcast, the No DQ Review, Open Mic Night, and the ATW View. All kinds of great classic content coming your way once again tomorrow as part of the Casa D18 Studios Throwback Thursday presentation. And then on Friday, we'll be back here for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And we're going to wrap up this week of movies that star musicians with another iconic musician in his debut film role, Prince in Purple Rain, also starring Apollonia, Morris Day and Jerome Benton, Clarence Williams III, Lisa Coleman, Wendy Melvoin, The Revolution, The Time, and Apollonia 6. You're not going to want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. Throwback Thursday, Renegades Reviews, Purple Rain, so much more in store. You don't want to miss out. So make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Statboy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, Pay-Per-View, PLE, Watch-Along coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of Jane Fonda, fans of Lily Tomlin, fans of Dolly Parton, fans of Dabney Coleman, fans of the song 9 to 5. Anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content in this video, share it with them. It's the only way we're going to keep my visibility in YouTube's algorithm now that we are a monetized channel here on the platform. Thank you once again to everyone who joined me and tuned in today, as well as everybody that did the hard work that helped me get to where I am and being a monetized channel. It means so much more to me than you guys will ever know. And I will see you guys next time.